Joseph had accomplished such a good thing for the land of Egypt and everything. Exodus chapter 1, there was another Pharaoh that came up, and in verse 8 it says, "Now there arose a new king over Egypt who did not know Joseph, and he said to his people, 'Look, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, lest they multiply.' And it happened in the event of war that they also join our enemies and fight against us, and so go out of the land." He saw how they were multiplying, and they had the land of Goshen. They had this carve out, even though the Egyptians wouldn't eat with the Israelites or with the Hebrews because it was an abomination. They made this carve out where they were enjoying the best of the land in Goshen, had all this opportunity, and they were multiplying. And then as the Pharaoh saw this, he was like, "We need to do something about this. These people are everywhere. They're prospering. They're multiplying everywhere. This is a national security threat." He was thinking, "We need to bring these people under control. We need to enslave them." And then to get the numbers down further, they began killing the Hebrew babies, the male babies, just throwing them in the Nile River. The gold standard of ruling is Exodus 12:49, having one law for the foreigner and the native. That's the gold standard. Human governments do not hold to that standard, because once the race in charge feels threatened by the race that they feel they're dominating, then they begin to act like Pharaoh. They begin to look at them sideways whenever they feel that threat, and then atrocities begin. They're living a lie and thinking that white is superior, white is right, because anytime they get a Cushite, or black person as you call them, receives an opportunity, it smashes all of that propaganda that white is right or white is superior, because they excel. And then when they got a president who was a Cushite, it was like, wait a minute, hold on a second here. We got to do something about this. And so they begin to act in a way that to counteract this threat that they feel to their power and authority. They begin to say things like, get rid of DEI, get rid of black history, get rid of all these accomplishments that these Cushites have had. There's got to get rid of all that. So they act like Pharaoh. And so they encourage violence. They ignore their own laws and hire those who are undocumented and bring them in and get that cheap labor. So as they do this over a period of time, the numbers accumulate more and more, more and more. Person got millions, and now they feel the challenge. They have their Pharaoh moment. Oh, we got to do something about this. So now they reach out, deportation, get them out of here. We got to get them out of here. We don't care if we have to separate families. We got to get them out of here. They feel that threat. Again, if you were to deport the undocumented, then why are you not dealing with those who hired them? Because the very ones who are reaching out against them now are the very ones who hired them back then in order to get the cheap wage. And God looks at nations based specifically on how they treat the foreigner. Moses and Aaron stepped forward and told Pharaoh, this is what God said, let my people go. Revelation speaks of plagues being poured out, trumpets being blown. He's going to remove the oppression from those who become his people, who will be able to lift up their heads for deliverance to come. And today, they become Israelites, not based on flesh, but based on spirit. He has us all under the greater Moses, Jesus Christ. And we're going to be a part of that nation of God, his spiritual nations. Then we have to get off the Pharaoh moment. We have to get off the racist moment. We have to get off the jealousy because someone has this and you don't have it, or because someone has this job or you don't have it. You have to get off all that. And you have to live completely by the Spirit, putting your trust in God, working hard spiritually and secularly, putting your trust in God. That way you become marked as God's Israel. When you're God's Israel, when that sign appears in the sky, your deliverance is near.